Good evening and thanks for joining us in the new year as we resume the 2016 and 17 Spartan shows. We're excited about the next several weeks as we have an audition series for the show hosts and crew for 2017, 18 and beyond. You'll see Zane Yan, Lou Ryan and Marquis Tatina in front of the camera handling co-host and script reading responsibilities during this time along with the regular Spartan show staff. Stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Zane Yan and we welcome MU alum Ryan Gossett to the set. Ryan, can you tell us about a unique wrestling style program you work on with the youth from the North Manchester and Wabash County area, and how did you get involved in doing this?
Well, the North Manchester Wrestling Club was something started by Chris Hubbard, who owns the Journey Brazilian Ju-Jitsu gym here in town. And I was actually invited to help run the program as a student of the Jiu-Jitsu program there. He knew I had a wrestling background here and was really good friends with Coach Burlingame. And Coach Burlingame, I guess, actually recommended me to Chris to be there and said that, you know, the kids, he told Chris I was a little awkward, but I had an eye for detail and I was really good with kids. So I guess, you know, they kind of seen that as a diamond in the rough. But I'm definitely happy to be there. I'm kind of glad it's something I fell into.
That's really cool, Ryan. As you reflect back on your Manchester University career, what parts of being a student here helped lead you to be more involved with this program? Do you want to make this a part of your permanent professional career?
Well, I'll start kind of backwards on that one. As far as a permanent professional career, I've always been interested in being a personal trainer or a strength and conditioning coach. And I think the kind of undercalling there, I've always wanted to help people. And I think the easiest way for me to help people is to kind of do it through their own self-image. You know, everybody wants to look good, everybody wants to feel good. So why not aid people in that process? But in the same aspect, I want to help people be better at the things they enjoy, I guess, if that makes sense. And doing the wrestling program, Coach Burlingame, when I was here, always weighed really heavy on the older guys, getting our faces in the community, helping out around, you know, the neighborhoods. And, you know, I would always go back home to Indianapolis and coach there. And so getting involved with the Manchester program here, it was a lot closer, and I feel, it makes me feel really connected. And one of the things that I like is that, you know, one of the most rewarding things is seeing a little 11 or 12-year-old kid when you're running through some kind of move sequence and you see this light bulb moment where it clicks and they're like, I've never seen this before, and they look at you like you're just this unbelievable person. You know, it's really morally rewarding. And I guess that's really what I look for. As far as a career, coaching, yes. Coaching wrestling, maybe not. Kind of just depends on where the chips fall on that one.
That's awesome. How can interested individuals get involved in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Well, as far as up here in northern Indiana, places are kind of far and few between. We were just so lucky to have one here in town that opened up last year. Chris Hubbard, he's right on Main Street, right across from the Main View. I'm sure most of the students know where the Main View is. If not, I'm sure they know a coach or professor that does. The biggest thing I would say is just, you know, everybody knows how to use Google. Google it, find schools closer to your hometown, do research on the instructors, know who owns the academy, and, you know, I would recommend it to everybody. The biggest problem I hear about jiu-jitsu is people say, you know, oh, I want to get in shape before I start. And being in shape before you start jiu-jitsu is kind of like saying, well, I'm going to wait till my kid's smart enough to send him to school. It's kind of a reverse there. Jiu-jitsu will put you in really good shape. I've seen people that have extremely low self-confidence come in there for 6 months and be a completely different person. I really have seen it change people's lives from the time they walk in to, you know, 6 months down the road, 12 months down the road. And the bonds that you make with some of those guys is priceless. I mean, it's friendships that you could carry on for the rest of your life. And, you know, being college students, the biggest thing they try to teach is networking. You know, I know guys that are doctors that this is what they do in their free time. I know guys that are physical therapists. I know guys that are, you know, construction workers and everywhere in between from all walks of life. So it really introduces you to a very diverse spectrum of people. And really for me it was the whole package. So to anybody that's even slightly interested or curious, Google it, find a school, give it a shot. If you wanted a place while you're here in school, chances are I'll probably be in there. If you don't know anybody else, come say hi.
That's awesome. Thanks for joining us, Ryan.
Not a problem. Thank you guys.
Hello, I'm Lou Ryan and I'm presenting the highlights segment. It was a busy winter break for the MU athletics department as the men's and women's basketball and wrestling teams were in action. The women's basketball team closed out a span by hosting Rust College of Mississippi on New Year's Eve. The Spartans battled back and forth with the Lady Bearcats throughout the afternoon, but Rust came away with a 62-60 win due to a pair of free throws in the final 10 seconds. Despite the defeat, there was plenty to look back on for the black and gold as junior Sam Bolin increased her double-figure scoring streak to 4 games with a team high of 12 points. And sophomore Maddie Meinhardt and senior Jennifer Lee ended the night with 10 each. Members of the baseball program were also on campus during break as the annual winter hitting, pitching, and defensive camps were held last week. Participants received instruction from camp director Rick Esposette, assistant director Bryce Worrell, and Spartans players. The winter sessions resume with individual hitting during the first 3 Sundays in February. Individuals interested can go to www.muspartans.com for more information. As the Jan term calendar began last week, the 2016-17 HCAC basketball schedule resumed. MU's men won a 79-72 thriller over Franklin on January 4th. A 20-13 run closed the game for the home team as they gained their first conference victory. Adrian Johnson and Tailur Alexander proved tough on the Grizzlies, as Johnson scored 21 points and Alexander was just off double-double pace with 18 points and 9 rebounds.
Hello, I'm Maraki with this week's Spartan Show MVP. The first honor of the new year goes to junior wrestler Chase Wilson. The 1-for-1 pounder provided quite a performance at the Desert Duels December 19 as he went 3-0 for the Black Gold, which included a pin of a top 3 nationally ranked opponent. Chase's offer in Las Vegas earned him a national ranking from the National Wrestling Coaches Association as he moved into the number 9 slot. He also jumped into D3Wrestle.com's top 10 at number 6. Congratulations, Chase.
We wrap up the first show of the new year as Chad Schultz, Tailur Szarenski, and Brandon Eck are joining us. Guys, you each earned a big honor recently as you guys were all named to the Collegiate Baseball News Division 3 Players Watch List. Can you tell us what each of that means to you?
I think what it means to me is it kind of validates all the hard work that myself and I'm sure these 2 others have put in over past seasons, past off seasons, just putting in so much time because it's a sport we love and we want to succeed as a team and individually.
Awesome. Brandon?
For me, it feels good to be recognized, but at the same time, like I still have the same role as I did last year, so just trying to move on and keep doing the same thing.
Good. Z?
Yeah, Megan. I mean, it's really cool to be recognized, and my family probably likes it more than I do. But it's a team thing as well because, like I'm sure these guys would say, real hard to have a lot of RBIs if no one's on for you. So they're doing a lot of that stuff. They're throwing the balls around. We're catching. You know what I mean? It's a total team effort.
Yeah, absolutely. A good team honor. So what are 2 things each of you are hoping to achieve going forward this year?
I think we're probably all going to say the same thing is, of course, we want to win that conference championship. That's on the top of everyone's list, I'm sure. And moving past that, I think we want to have a winning record. I think everyone wants to do the best they can. So.
Absolutely. Brandon?
I just think team unity is pretty big. Just by the time season starts, hopefully everybody is working together and just continue to do all of our roles, and it seems to be working pretty well so far.
Chemistry is a big part in how to use you.
Yeah, I mean, these guys said all the cliche ones, so I'll go. My 2 goals this year, I'm big about stats and about numbers personally. So my number 1 goal is to eat at least 3 bags of Joy Covington Sour Patch Kids.
Okay.
I've got 1 bag down on road trips the last 2 or 3 years, so my goal is to exceed that. And then I think intimidation for the other team is a pretty big factor. So I want to lead our team in batting practice home runs. I'm trying to hit at least 20 throughout the course of the season, and I know Chad and there's some other competition out there, but those are my 2 main goals.
Does the invitation go back to your walk-up song this year or no?
Oh, well, the walk-up song's a big reveal, so we'll keep that under there, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, guys. We look forward to your 2017 season.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all for this week's edition. We'll see you next week for another edition of the Spartan Show. Have a good evening.